Who am I kidding? No one. The Oric Atmos was one of the most beautiful machines ever made, with the iconic red buttons on the side and the black keyboard. It even had a decent keyboard that was comfortable to write on. I don't have one, so today I will use emulators, both software-based emulators and the Mister, to try to have a look at the Oric Atmos. But my good friend have one. So, Dbug, can you show us the Oric?
So, what's an Oric? This is an Oric Atmos, 1984 machine, beautiful black and red, with some expansion port, printer port that you can see here for the printer, and some RGB output and tape output, en plus RF for antenna fin. It's a classic 1980s computer, which came with a printer, a floppy disk, but most people didn't have that because most games were released on tape like that, in crystal box or clamshell. And internally, it's basically what you get when you mix together ZX Spectrum on the Commodore 64. You take the Spectrum, you remove Z80, and you put a 650 instead, and you get the Oric Atmos.
Thank you, Dbug. Today I plan to have a look at the Oric as a graphical workstation and have a look at how the current demo scene is going for the Oric, and maybe check if there are any games worth playing. Now it's time to have a look at the software for doing pixeling. I managed to find myself an English version of Lorigraph. So let's have a look. As every old 8-bit system, the Oric Atmos has a quite unique way to handle colors. It uses two things. One thing that is named paper, which is the background, and one thing that is named ink. Ink is what we see as the individual pixels we are painting with. On the Oric you need to paint using the keyboard, as you do with the Commodore 64. So you place individual pixels like this. And as you can see, if we change the ink color to this one and goes back, the color change. So in a way we are painting in monochrome. Let's pause there. It's not that simple. On the Oric there are 40 blocks of 6 pixels per scan line, and each block are drawn using paper and ink, like I said. But at the start of each scan line, paper is black and ink is white. And for each block you can either draw with these colors or change one of them, either paper or ink. And this block of 6 pixels will be drawn with paper color. In addition, you can use the invert bit to use video inverted version of the current colors. So it's not as simple as a monochrome painting. But let's erase that and try to see if I'm capable of making something proper with it. It is possible to do some kind of graphics on this software from 1984, but it was hard work and very difficult. But it is the software impressed me. It is one of the more user-friendly softwares from the early 80s for doing graphics I've tried. So thumbs up to the Oric in this area. As most 8-bit system, the Oric Atmos interests me mostly as a demo scene system. I enjoy most older systems more as a way to watch old demos and see how developers has progressed over the years and what they are able to do nowadays with old systems. There is some really impressive stuff going on. So let's have a look what the future has brought to the Atmos. I will showcase the stuff here on my MR-based system. Let's have a look. So let's first have a look at the demo that got me into the Oric from LCP 2004, Buggy Boy by Defense Force. So that was the Buggy Boy from Defense Force from LCP in 2004. The next one I wanted to show you is loaded from tape, and it's made by Iris, and it's called No Problem. This is going to take a while, so we'll probably speed up this a bit. That was the newest demo from 2003. As you can see, the demo scene managed to pull some very interesting stuff out of this old computer. That is going to be very obvious when we compare this to games. We can't really have a look at the computer system without touching games. I was never a gamer, and still to this day haven't become one. But a friend of mine tipped me about this rather new game that is based on the old PC game called Rogue, and it's called Wizard Lair. And from what I've seen in the game library, this is kind of sums up other games I've seen. It's for the most part, but not all, based on other popular games from the era. This was the same way with most systems in the 80s, which based most of their games on arcade games, etc. But let's have a look at Wizard Lair, and you can all sit in your chair and laugh at how bad I am at gaming. Enjoy! So this is a turn-based game. When I move, they move. And the goal is to find stuff and find the way through the map and reach the next level without dying. So let's try that. I reached the second floor. I was probably meant to find more stuff before I went there. That was a bad find. A bat. It's probably going to kill me. Something hurt me. Not sure what. Oh, I died. I have no idea why I died. Anyway. The game graphics is mostly on par on what I've seen in Spectrum games. So it's about what one can expect for the era. And I died again. As you can see, I'm in easy mode, but still I'm unable to understand why I die. But as I said in the friendly warning, I'm a horrible gamer. I think it's time to sum this up. So that was my look at the Oric Atmos. It is a fun little machine, and I still think it's the best looking machine of the 80s and 90s, and probably up until this day. As Dbug said, it is a mix of a Commodore 64 and a Spectrum in a way. You take the CPU from a C64 and add it to a Spectrum, and in a way you then have the Oric. I urge you to have a dig through the demo scene archive. I will link to it down below. And thanks for watching this rather long video. Have a great evening.